Soft, melancholic piano music begins, reminiscent of a faded photograph. A gentle sigh precedes the voice. Oh, darling, do you ever feel adrift, like a porcelain doll tossed into the churning sea of human indifference? It's a feeling I've grown quite intimately acquainted with, you see, especially after my recent sojourn, and I use that word with the most brittle irony to the Grand Ring Hotel Kemer. Honestly, it's a name that promised so much, doesn't it? Grand, ring, like a shimmering jewel box of delight, such exquisite deceit. Let me prepare you, because I'm about to unravel a tapestry of woe, a veritable opera of misfortune. You see, some people, they simply must have a holiday, a respite, a gilded cage where one can pretend the inherent meaninglessness of existence isn't constantly nipping at one's heels. I am, regrettably, one of those people. I yearn for perfection, a curated experience, and I was, oh so spectacularly denied. It began, innocently enough, with the consideration of lodging. Imagine, if you will, the sheer emotional labor involved in selecting a hotel. The endless scrolling, the scrutinizing of photographs, the fragile hope that some establishment might actually deliver on its promises. I naturally opted for a 5-star designation. One doesn't simply lower one's standards, does one? It's a matter of principle, and I expected elegance, proper thread counts, a staff that anticipates your needs before you even realize you have them. Basic human decency, really. What I received was compromised. Oh, the rooms, some they said were decent, but decent is a word for faded wallpaper and the lingering scent of other people's disappointments. There was a chill, a dampness that clung to the very air. And others utterly in need of renovation, stains on the carpets, the kind that whisper tales of forgotten spills and questionable hygiene. This, darlings, is problematic because a hotel room is meant to be a sanctuary. A blank canvas upon which one can project one's carefully constructed fantasies of relaxation. A soiled canvas is distressing. IV had better conditions in boarding houses during my grandmother's stories from back in the Soviet Union. Honestly, it reminded me of those apartment blocks that were built in the 70s. The food, oh heavens, the food, the tragedy of it all. A menu that remained with a stubbornly monotonous persistence, almost the same throughout the entire week. It's as if the chef, poor dear, became trapped in a culinary time loop, doomed to endlessly repeat the same 3 dishes. And the seafood, the egregious lack of seafood, no shrimp, no crab, not even a humble prawn. For a coastal resort, this feels criminal, a profound betrayal of geographic opportunity. Truthfully, I enjoy a beautifully grilled sea bass. Is that too much to ask? And on one occasion, they served something that was actively spoiled. The texture, a peculiar sliminess, the odor, a faint, unsettling tang of decay. Experiencing a decline in nutrition even on the vacation you've paid for is atrocious and unacceptable. A properly nourished body is essential for achieving optimal levels of wistful contemplation. And the heat, my dears, the oppressive, all-encompassing heat, the lobbies, the hallways, the dining areas, all sweltering, un-air-conditioned prisons of perspiration. It's not merely uncomfortable, it's a blatant disregard for basic human comfort. Why invest in air conditioning for the rooms and then subject one to a sauna-like experience in the communal spaces? It's illogical. It spoke of a fundamental disdain for the patrons, a subtle but persistent message: we care not for your well-being. Now let's discuss the staff, the ghostly pallor of their expressions, the way they seemed perpetually on the verge of an existential crisis. It's a sad reflection of the management, surely. When those who work are clearly burdened with unhappiness, it seeps into the very atmosphere. Yes, they were technically friendly,
A forced smile is a chilling thing to observe. It feels untrustworthy. And English, oh my sweetlings, English was a rarity. Maybe 2 or 3 individuals possessed a working knowledge. This isn't merely inconvenient. It creates a barrier, a sense of isolation. You want to feel understood. But now the horror, the absolute stomach-churning horror, the fire. It began in
the reality of businesses near Grand Ring Hotel. Kemer, if you're staying at the Grand Ring Hotel in Kemer, you might assume the surrounding businesses would complement a pleasant holiday. Unfortunately, that assumption would be wrong. The area is plagued by establishments that seem designed to test your patience, drain your wallet, and leave you questioning why you ever left your hotel room. Let's start with shopping. The Kemer Shopping Center is less of a retail paradise and more of a financial ambush. Visitors describe it as a place where logic goes to die. Prices are inflated to absurd levels, and the sales tactics border on psychological warfare. One reviewer mentioned being trapped inside, forced to navigate aggressive vendors pushing cheap goods at luxury prices. Another simply called it dirty, which, in the world of shopping centers, is the equivalent of being told your food was cooked in a haunted kitchen. Then there's dining. Merhaba Garden Restaurant presents itself as a charming spot with glowing reviews, but the reality is a masterclass in disappointment. The food? Some say it tastes like plastic, others describe steaks so tough they could double as shoe leather. And the prices? Astronomical. One couple paid €130 for a meal that barely resembled what they ordered, while others found themselves charged for water they never requested. The restaurant's strategy seems to be lure them in with good ratings, then hit them with the bill of a lifetime. If you're craving seafood, Forlenhof Gurenuk Fish Steak House might tempt you, until you realize it's a tourist pricing trap. Multiple guests reported being handed menus in euros, with prices 2 to 3 times higher than they should be. One diner called it a scam, while another noted the eerie emptiness of the place, as if even the locals knew better than to step inside. The only thing fresh here is the audacity. Now, nightlife. Clubs near Grand Ring Hotel don't just disappoint, they specialize in it. Club Inferno Kemer is less of a dance venue and more of a staged circus. The music fades so performers can take the spotlight. Drinks cost more than your flight to Turkey. And the entry system is so inconsistent you'll wonder if the bouncers are making it up as they go. One guest paid nearly 1,000 TL only to find the club closing 30 minutes later. Another described it as the worst club ever, which, in a town full of questionable nightlife, is quite the achievement. Aura Club Kemer follows the same playbook: overpriced drinks, relentless upselling, and staff who treat you like a walking ATM. One guest paid £453 for a bottle of vodka. Another was forced off their table to make room for bottle service customers. The club's motto might as well be, your money or your dignity. Accommodations aren't safe either. Lemon Boutique Hotel has been described as a place where cleanliness is a myth. Guests reported filthy bathrooms, ants in the closets, and breakfast so dismal they'd make a prison meal seem gourmet. One reviewer said they'd rather sleep in their car, and after reading the reviews, you might agree. So what's the takeaway? Businesses near Grand Ring Hotel, Kemer, operate on one principle: tourists are temporary, but overcharging is forever. If you must venture out, go with your guard up, your wallet locked, and your expectations buried 6 feet under. Or better yet, stay in the hotel. At least there, the only thing you'll lose is your sense of adventure.
Okay, so I was looking into things happening around the Grand Ring Hotel in Kemer. It's kinda depressing, you know. Not the hotel itself, it seems nice, but the shops nearby, they have ways of getting your money. It's just sad. First thing, a lot of the shops around here, especially the carpet ones, they try to sell you fake Turkish carpets as if they super old and handmade. They show you certificates and everything, but it's all a lie. A British tourist apparently paid over $5,000 for a silk carpet near Kemer and found out later it was made in China and worth $100. Can you believe that? They probably just walked away, feeling totally stupid and ripped off, and probably filed a police report that went nowhere. I bet the shopkeeper is still there, scamming the next tourist, probably laughing all the way to the bank. Then there are the restaurants and bars, especially in the older parts of Kemer. People get invited in by friendly faces, order a drink, then the bill comes, and it's insane. Like one couple got a bill for €900 for 2 beers and chips. Seriously, they probably got cornered by bouncers, intimidated into paying, and felt absolutely helpless. Honestly, who carries that much cash? They likely spent the rest of their holiday stressed and angry, and probably told everyone they know never to go near that bar. The bar owners, they get away with it because who's going to bother fighting it? And it's not just carpets and bars. Near the Faisleys ruins, which is close to the Grand Ring Hotel, people are trying to sell tourists antique coins. They look old, but they are just cheap copies made locally. A Russian tourist paid $700 for one. What a disaster. He probably tried to sell it when he got home and found out it was worthless. I bet he regretted even looking at the coins. The guy who sold it to him is probably still there, conning people. Oh, and the perfume shops. They sell fake perfumes pretending they're Chanel or Dior. The smell fades after a day, and the packaging isn't right. Like, how does anyone not notice? A German traveler bought some and found out when he got home. He probably threw them away, feeling incredibly foolish, and left a bad review online, which probably didn't do much. Even the little grocery stores aren't safe, apparently. They overcharge tourists, saying the prices are for locals only. Can you imagine? It's just unfair. The tourist probably paid to avoid a fight, feeling angry and helpless. I bet they warned other tourists at the Grand Ring Hotel or online. But these shopkeepers, they just don't care, do they? And honestly, the worst part. There are stories about